Hello, welcome. I'm laughing because as I was getting ready to come on, my glasses fell off my face. So I was trying to beat the clock and try to get online. But welcome to the Female Factor. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I'm saying someone can I hear? Let's see, give me 1 second. Okay, let's see. So let's go. All right, let's go ahead and get started here. Let's cue the music and let's get this episode going. So, my name is Lawrence. I am your host of the Female Factor, where we interview women who are changing the business game. I am so excited because we're coming to you with another amazing guest to share her story as a owner of a nonprofit. And I have her quick bio that, of course, I am going to read to you all. But just a little bit about myself, as you know, I'm the host of the Female Factor of this amazing podcast. So I want to thank each and every one of you who have been watching us live, as well as the replays, and giving us some amazing comments and love regarding the podcast and just some of the things that have been shared. I am also a branding photographer for Chapter H Studio, which is founded by myself or started by myself or owned by myself, however you want to put it. And what I do is I simply help entrepreneurs and small businesses in the area of branding visibility, branding recognition, and also credibility. And I do that through the power of quality images. And then, of course, I do have the Powerhouse community, which we are streaming currently within the Powerhouse Facebook group right now. And what we do is we have a community that helps empower and celebrate women in business. We meet virtually every month, and we also meet in person on various locations. And so if you're interested in being a part of that community and learning more about that, definitely visit our website, Powerhouse, which is POWHER, powerhouse.club. And I think I actually have I thought I did. So I'll make sure I get that information to you before we end this broadcast. So let's get right into learning about our guest today. We have Miss Chandria Taylor, and I'm pulling up her bio right now. So Chandria Taylor is a mother, teacher, author, and stillbirth advocate. She is the founder of Like a Rose non-for-profit, founded after her daughter Adeline Rose, who was born sleeping November 1st, 2018. After losing her daughter, she knew there was a higher calling on her life. She believes that every story written is a story worth telling, and she will forever tell her story. And I do want to say I was one of her. I was a photographer for a couple of her books that she wrote, and so hopefully she will share some of those books with us today. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring up Miss Chandria Taylor. Everybody, hold on. Give me 1 second here. I realized something. Hold on. There we go. Boom. Let's get it. Let's bring her up, you guys. You ready? There she is. And the
Hey,
crowd goes wild.
I cannot.
Welcome. Welcome to the Female Podcast or the Female
Uh,
Factor Podcast. I'm so excited to have you on. How are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm good. It's hot outside, but it's cool in here.
I know, right? Isn't it nice to actually start complaining about the heat?
I know. It really is. It
I've
really
been waiting just to complain about the heat. But I've enjoyed it. I did some yard work today. And so I'm looking now, the grass is still greener on our side. So
is.
I like yeah. So, your biography, your story that you shared with us is very heartfelt, and I know there are several, or not several, there are many women out there who definitely can relate to your story. And so, I would love for you to share a little bit about your story and about the Like a Rose Foundation. So, yeah, the floor is yours.
All right. Well, hey, everybody. My name is Chandria Taylor, and I am the mother of Adeline Rose, who I said in my bio was born sleeping November 1st, 2018. If you don't know what born sleeping means, it means that she was born stillbirth. And uh, so after I lost my daughter, I was really just like in a very depressed state and kind of didn't know how I was going to navigate through that. And so I'm a believer. And so I was just praying, I was like, God, if you want me to get through this, like you got to give me something to help me, to make it. And so he gave me the idea of a rose and how roses, because her real name was Rose. And roses all have thorns, and thorns are hurtful if you touch them. But a rose scientifically cannot grow without its thorns. And so we as a people, we are all like a rose. We all have our thorns, those things that hurt us. For me, it was child loss. For you, it could have been your job loss, divorce, addictions, whatever it looks like. But we cannot grow who God calls without embracing our thorns. And so at first, Like a Rose started off just being a Facebook page because a lot of my friends and family were uncomfortable with seeing Adeline, pictures of her on my personal page. So I made a separate page for that. But my angel mom mentor told me, she said, Drea, never make yourself uncomfortable for the sake of someone else's comfortability. And so with that statement, I was like, man, like this is so much more powerful than what I thought it was going to be. And so from there, the nonprofit formed. And then here I am today, walking in the Like
Wow.
a Rose, yeah, business.
So tell me about that journey. When did you realize that this was like? Tell me about the process of coming to the understanding that this was not just an event that took place, but this is more so something that is transformational to other women.
Yeah, so when I was in high school, I had a purple binder, and in the front of it, it said, Be Your Own Beautiful. And I had a whole business plan where I wanted to help young women who were addicts, pregnant. I had a whole long list of things that I wanted to help young women with. And so after I lost Adeline, again, I'm a believer, the Lord spoke to me and he was like, This is what you asked for. I was like, Well, no, no, that's not what I meant. And he's like, No, you said you want to impact people, you want to impact women. So I'm going to let you do that, but I take your daughter first. And so once God revealed that to me, it was then that I was like, okay, like it started to make sense to me. And from then on, moms were just reaching out to me. Oh, I just had a miscarriage last week. I never told anybody. Or I lost my child 5 years ago, but I don't talk about it. I wish I was as brave as you to share your story. So as I started getting more messages from people privately, I was like, man, like this is a topic that it needs to be normalized. Child loss happens. It's more than what we realize, and especially in the Black community, it happens. We're number one for child loss. And so once I started getting those messages, it was just confirmation for me that Adeline's story was not in vain. Her loss was not in vain. And there are moms, there are people out there that need to know and need to hear and need to be able to share their loss with the world as well.
Wow, awesome. I mean, well, not awesome, but I'm like the unveiling
Yes.
and that process of you coming to that fulfillment of like this is what I need to do, or this is what I need to be doing. Tell me some of the I want to what's the word? I can't think of the word. I guess the myths or the stereotypes. That's better. Tell me some of the stereotypes that you might have received being who you are in this type of organization?
Whew. There's a lot.
I know. You gotta be
Yeah.
ready.
So at first, I used to take things very personal. What I've learned is that a lot of people just don't understand, and I'm glad that they don't because I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. So a lot of what I received in the beginning was, I don't want to see her pictures. That's a trigger for me. But what I now respond to it with is, you posting alcohol would be a trigger for me. You posting your newborn baby is a trigger for me. But I'm never going to tell you not to share your story. Everything can be a trigger to someone. So I'm not going to not share my child. Again, like my mentor said, I'm not going to make myself uncomfortable for your comfortability. That's not there to me. So a lot in the beginning I got was just not really sharing her pictures, not doing that. Another thing I commonly got was that I need to be over it. Like, it's been X amount of time now. Why are you still um, crying? Why are you still upset? Why are you still talking about it? That was another thing that I commonly got. Um, Others were, why did I let my children meet their sister? Why did I put them in that predicament to be in the room with the child who's not alive? I've gotten that question. One lady was even bold enough to tell me that she had to die because I needed a son. I had too many girls and I needed a son. So I've been told a lot of like off the wall things. But at first I take it personal, like I said, but I just learned to show people grace and the fact that they just don't understand, and that's okay.
Wow. Has your strength ever been questioned during and not necessarily by yourself, because I know we personally don't we sometimes don't go easy on ourselves, and we're real tough. But as far as from other people, has there been any question of strength on your part? And um, yeah,
Do you mean in regards like, do I ever like not feel as strong as I think I am,
no,
or
do people question your strength? Have you ever came across conversations or interactions where people are questioning your strength, they're questioning your authenticity, they're questioning your motive, like how have you
um
received any of that?
not really so much in regards to questioning it. I think sometimes people think that I'm stronger than what I really am.
Mm,
And so I think that I get a lot is, oh, you're so strong. But I'm like, no, like, you don't see the nights when I cry myself to sleep. You don't see the car rides when I
mm,
get the sun. And that's a trigger. Like, people don't always see those sides.
mhm.
1 second.
So while she's taking that quick break, I want you to make sure that you're sharing this, and definitely comment. Let us know where you're coming from. I see Galen on LinkedIn. Welcome, sir. But yeah,
Sorry, my 2-year-old was playing Spider-Man on the staircase. So I had to go. Say,
my 6-year-old was in here playing the guitar.
oh my gosh, that's
Why? Like
scary.
standing
I
right in
just
front of
can't
me
believe
with the
I'm
guitar.
scared. Sorry. Lord. Um, but yeah, anyway, so not in the sense of like people have questioned my strength. I think it's more so people think that I'm a lot stronger than what I am some days.
Wow. I mean, I guess I didn't see that coming. Is people would, which I get it. So when people assume your strength, sometimes they don't realize what they put up on you.
Yeah.
And sometimes in their eyes they're thinking they're helping, but in your eyes it's like, no, I
No, I'm
wasn't
good.
carrying all of that. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm barely carrying what I'm carrying now, and then for you to just drop that
Exactly.
upon me, it's like that's too much.
Sure. And I've even
Um,
had to set, even with some of the people that I mentor, like, I'd let them know, like, today it's not a good day. I can't carry my weight today and then add yours on. So I had to set boundaries even with my mentors, let them know, like, I'm here for you, but today I need a day to grieve and to cry
mhm.
and take on your weight because it's weighing me down.
Yeah, being honest. I think that's the biggest thing. Being honest with yourself and those around you,
For sure.
and letting people know. I mean, not it may not be everybody, but you have those so that you can say, "Hey, today I'm not feeling so strong,"
Hmm.
and then allow them to um, bear your weakness. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. I know you go through it, and it's not a matter of when will it end.
Yeah. for sure.
Yeah.
For
So I do want to know more about the books that you've written. And I don't know if you have any that you can even show on the camera right now, but at least tell us more about your books.
Okay, so my very first book I wrote 2019, one of those years, I don't know. I wrote a chapter book called Like a Rose, the Thorns, and that just tells my story of child loss. It talks about how it impacted my marriage, how it impacted
Mhm.
my family, friends, my walk with God. It goes through all those things. That book is special to me because at the end of every chapter, I gave other angel moms a chance to share their stories. I would ask them a question, and then I shared their stories at the end of every chapter. So you get to read other moms throughout all over the U.S. Their stories and there as well. So that was
Powerful.
the first book. And then after I lost Adeline, my oldest daughter, Rylan, she was maybe 3 or 4. And trying to explain death to toddlers is just, it's a lot. It's a whole lot. And so she would say a lot of things like, I'm going to take her out of the box, Mom. Let's take her out of the box. Or I'm going to get a ladder and climb up there and get her down out of heaven. So I wrote a book called I Have a Little Sister. And it is all of the things that Rylan said about losing Adeline. And in every page, there's a hiding angel baby. And so the kids would try to find the baby on every page. So that's a little cute story as well.
Mm.
And then people were asking me, what about Jacelyn? So I wrote another book called When Our Feelings Are in Pieces. And that book is a book about all the emotions children feel when they lose someone that they love. So it goes through the happiness to the sad, the anger, confused, all those different things. And that book could be about anything, not just a sibling. It could be about a cousin, grandpa, dad, whoever. Um,
Nice.
then I kind of ventured off of the child loss thing, and I wrote 2 affirmation books, which shout out to Lawrence being my photographer for those 2 books. Um, the first one is the ABCs to Loving Me, which is an affirmation book for young Black girls to teach them to love themselves. Because I grew up in a predominantly white community, and I really struggled with self-love. It wasn't until like now actually, that I began to really embrace being who I am. And after that book, people were like, well, what about the boys? So I'm like, okay. So then I wrote the ABCs to Black Boy Joy, which is the same concept, teaching young Black boys that they have
Mhm.
in America. And this fall, I will be releasing my third book, The ABCs to Who I Want to Be, which shout out to Lawrence again because he'll be photographing that book as well. So those are all of my books. They can all be found on Amazon, or you can message me directly and I can get you a copy.
Awesome. Awesome. That's what? 5 books so far, going on 6. Is that right?
Yeah, let's
Wow.
count anymore.
And you've done all that within the last, what, 4 years?
Yeah, 3 or 4 years for sure.
That's a,
Yeah.
that's a lot. I have one like published chapter book called Back to the Art of Worship. And that took a long time for me to complete. Like I wrote it in 3 weeks, but I didn't complete it until like 3 years later.
It's a process writing a book for sure.
It really is, and it's such an odd process because everyone's process is different, and the timing can be so different. Like you can have the urge to write within weeks, and you can write so much, and then months after that, you just don't have the urge to write it until it's time you pick up that pen again. You
So
know.
the first chapter book. So I didn't write that book until maybe like 2 years after I lost Adeline. So for
Mhm.
me, it was hard for me to tap back into the emotions that I already
Mhm.
come. And so I was okay, when I was in the hospital, like, well, how was I feeling? And so it was a whole another process of trying to like take myself back to
Yeah.
that moment. So for sure, the timing is everything.
Yeah. And last thing I want to speak on, this is a podcast for women in business. And I know there are a lot of women out there who has to balance home as well as, business.
Yeah.
And so everyone that I had on here so far has addressed their challenge of trying to balance out being a mom, being a wife and then being a business owner. So tell us about that. How has that been for you?
Oh gosh, it's been a journey, especially being a single parent.
Oh wow.
Kids are downstairs playing, and I have three girls and a dog who's like a whole another child. Uh, so what I had to learn is for a long time my sole focus was my children, but I had to learn that Drea is so much more than just a mom, and so I had to learn how to adjust to make time for myself, whether that meant finding a babysitter or, saying, "Hey kids, I need you downstairs for 30 minutes because I need to, for example, get this interview done. So don't come up here, give me my time." So I had to, one, train myself to know that I'm more than a mom, and then train my kids to know that mommy needs to do other things outside of just attending to you for the whole evening. So it definitely is a journey, and it definitely is a process that I'm still navigating through. And then really just finding your village of people who will be there to support you and, to step in if you need anything, I got you. And so shout out to my village who has always been there, just, when I need them to be there.
Awesome. And that's what we talked about in the last segment. We talked about having a village
Yeah,
and important of like making sure the people around you understand their part in assuring that you keep your sanity
exactly.
and that you make it, And so, what I want to do now, finally, is I'm going to drop off the screen for about a couple minutes for you to kind of share. If you have any services that you would like to share for those who are listening, or any particular things that are happening, you can definitely share that. I'll have your information flowing on the bottom of the screen. So yeah, I will drop off, and the floor is yours.
All righty. Hey, everyone. So I have been on this journey, and it's for a long time been by myself. And right now, what Like a Rose is really doing is looking for community people who are willing to volunteer their time and their services to be a part of what we are doing. So we are looking for board members. If you check out our Facebook page, Like a Rose Adeline Rose, you will see on there all different things that we're looking for in regards to a president, the financial person, events, all those different things are listed on the page. So that is one thing that we are needing from the community and from people, is to be now partner with us and become a part of what we are doing for the community. And speaking of what we do for the community, we offer a lot of different things. And as we are growing, we are offering a whole lot more things. And so I'm really excited about that. Um, Two things that we do annually. In March, we host our annual conference. Right now, it is just for women only, where we just discuss life events. So the first year we talked about the thorns. Last year we talked about growing and not feeling like you're buried, but you're planted somewhere. This past year we talked about Job and losing everything, and then we're now working on next year's conference as well. So we do that annually, and then we also have our annual Runway for Rose fashion show for her birthday, which is November 1st. This year our show will be on November 4th, 2018. So if you are a model, a designer, and you want to be a part of this event, please check out our Facebook page and Instagram as well. You can find the information on there in regards to how to sign up to be a part of it. I love the fashion show because we raise money and then we donate it back to other organizations who have the same mission and goals that we have here in Like a Rose. This July, we are doing July 1st at Redeemer's House of Worship in Belleville. We are doing the Truth Saga, where it is a panel of women, and we will be answering questions and giving you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God. I am really excited about that. That is a free event for anyone to come to. So as we are beginning to grow, we are offering different things throughout the community as well. And we also have a partnership with the hospital where Adeline was born. We have started a brick foundation, so there is an Angel of Hope there. And around the Angel of Hope, there are different bricks with babies' names on them. So with our money donated to the hospital, parents are able to get their bricks for free. We also make memory boxes to give to moms that are filled with bracelet, baby, mommy me bracelets, blankets, cards, anything like that. So if you knit, if you sew, if you make jewelry, and you want to contribute to our boxes, that would be amazing, because we give those back to moms who experience child loss in the future. We also offer one-on-one mentorship with me. So if you have experienced any sort of loss, pre-birth, so stillbirth, miscarriage, ectopic pregnancies, even abortions. That is who we service. We don't service people whose child came out alive and then passed away later. We only service families who experience those different categories. So if you're looking for someone, because you're like, hey, like I feel like I'm really alone in this journey, I just need somebody who gets it, please reach out to us, and I will walk with you one-on-one in a mentorship and walk with you through this journey of child loss. Because if you haven't been through it, it's easier to deal with someone who has been. So I offered that as well. I think that's all that we offered. Like I said, oh, final thing. So Adeline will be going to preschool this year. So I'm so excited because I've been waiting to do this like every year, but she was never old enough. So we are now on the hunt for a child, boy or girl, ages 4 or 5 years old, that will be entering preschool this fall. And I'm going to do with your child what I was not able to do with my own. So all your school supplies will be purchased. You can get a haircut or a hairstyle if it's a girl. Um, we will go on a shopping trip together. So me, you, and your parent, of course, will go on a shopping trip together, and we will fund everything that you need to get your child ready for school this year. So if you have a boy or girl, son or daughter, that is the ages of 4 or 5 entering into preschool, please check out our page as well. The flyer will be there with the link on how to sign up. We'll be choosing one child, and this will continue all the way through her senior year of high school. So every year we'll be taking your child in whatever age or grade level she'll be going into and adopting. So those are all things that we offer, that we do. We are looking to grow more in the community. So if you have anything that we can be a part of or partner with you on, feel free to reach out. You can follow us on Facebook at Like a Rose Adeline Rose. Our Instagram is at Like a Rose AR, and then TikTok as well, at Like a Rose AR. So I think that's everything, Lawrence. I hope I didn't forget anything.
No, you're good.
Do a lot.
You're good.
How do we do?
You're good. And so here's the thing, the replays will be available shortly after, well, actually immediately after we end our podcast episode today. So if anything that Chandria has mentioned today resonated with you, definitely let's act and follow and connect with her on Facebook, IG, and TikTok, so that she can encourage you through your journey and hopefully even give you some one-on-one guidance and counseling through your journey. And so we're going to say goodbye to Chandria. Thank you again for being our guest today. You've done excellent, and you've shared your story very well. And so we're going to say deuces. No, see you soon.
Bye.
Awesome. All right. So there you have it, you guys. That was Miss Chandria Taylor with her a very impactful and powerful story. My takeaway for you all today, just from hearing her, is for you moms to make sure you remember that you are more than just a mom. And it's okay to tell your child, to tell your family, I need a moment by myself. I need a moment. I need to go somewhere just to regain who I am and what I love to do and what I'm ready for, like all of that, right? So take time to do that, okay? So this concludes our episode for today with Chandria Taylor. Again, my name is Lawrence. I am your amazing host of the Female Factor podcast, where we interview women who are changing the business game. Until next time, visit our website. I'm about to show you, right? So visit our website, chapter8studio.com/the female factor. That's where you can actually look at some of the replays from previous episodes. If you are desiring to be a guest on this show, you can actually submit a form request through there as well. And also you'll be able to see who our next guest speaker is going to be for the podcast. So thank you again for being with us. Thank you for watching the replay. Let us know what you think. Let us know what are some things that you do as a woman, a mother or a woman, to regroup yourself and to remind yourself of who you are and that you're much more than what you might even think you are. So add that in the comment. We look forward to interacting with you. And until next time, we shall see you soon.